Vampires are some of the most famous monsters in history. These blood-sucking terrors will steal your heart or your life if you're not careful. Charm, charisma, looks, intelligence, and power are enough to lure you into their grip. And then... Hello everyone, Dandelion here, and today's thoughts are on Yofukashi no Uta, Call of the Night. Yofukashi no Uta, or Call of the Night, is a supernatural romantic comedy series made by Kotoyama. It was serialized in Shogakukan's Weekly Shonen Sunday in 2019, with an anime that aired from July 8th to September 30th of 2022, spanning across 13 episodes. It is also worth noting that the music for this series was provided by a hip-hop group known as Creepy Nuts. The series' name even comes from one of their songs. Now I'm going to try to keep my thoughts to this current season of the anime, which are chapters 1 through 47 in the manga. Like many anime, it'll skip some elements from the manga, so if you would like to pick up from where the anime left off, chapter 48 is where you should start. Our story follows Ko Yamori, a boy who's unable to sleep or find true satisfaction in his daily life. He stops attending school and begins wandering around the streets at night. He encounters a girl named Nazuna Nanakusa, a vampire who shows Ko the joys of the nightlife while using her powers. This results in Ko wanting to become a vampire as well. After Nazuna has a taste of his blood, Ko wonders why he's still human. Well, it turns out in this world, to become a vampire, you must be in love with that vampire. The series has an interesting cast of characters who are more than just surface level, as many of them have some unexpected quirks to them. Ko and Nazuna are the main characters of the series, and we will spend most of the time with them. Ko Yamori looks like the type that is closed off from others and often keeps to himself. However, this is not him at all. Now, he's not beating down doors to talk to everyone, but he does venture out to do things often, and even while attending school, he was rather active and well known. He wants to become a vampire to enjoy the nightlife forever. This makes him no different from other teenagers who know very little about the world and are wanting what they want then and now, sometimes not seeing the bigger picture or considering the future effects. Now, Nazuna is definitely on the list of waifus for 2022. She is a vampire with a rather carefree-like attitude. She will opt to stay in and play video games if she gets really bored, or running her rather weird massage parlor from home. When she's around Ko, this completely changes, and this cool, cocky persona comes out with her often teasing Ko. The real funny thing about Nazuna is that she likes to make lewd jokes, but she herself cannot handle any ounce of romance. In fact, this was one of the reasons why she often didn't hang around a lot of her other vampire peers. Of the vampiric group of people Nazuna tends to avoid, Seri Kikyo was a rather interesting one to me. She's a flirtatious vampire who resembles a Gyaru. She, in a way, is jealous of the relationship between Ko and Nazuna, as they are friends. She gets a small arc involving her and one of her admirers really falling for her, to the point it gets really creepy. She prefers to handle situations right then and there, instead of exploring other possible solutions. This comes to a head when she was going to kill the admirer named Akiyama. Her little story really showcases obsession and how it can push people away, while also teaching that there's more than one way to skin a cat. Anko Uguisu. Anko Uguisu. Oh my god. Jeez, okay, it's just Anko. I'm just going to call her Anko. She's a detective who specializes in privatized stuff, like confirming affairs or finding lost people. Oh, and killing vampires as well. That's right, this chain-smoking, somewhat disheveled person is sort of a vampire hunter. She is the one to really get Ko thinking about his choice in becoming a vampire. What I like about Anko is the fact that she puts up a challenge to his goal and forces him to look at the reality of the matter. And she's not out here to play by any rules except her own. Her being the reality check of the series is great. Reality can hit you unexpectedly, and Anko does just that with her character. She comes out of nowhere and smacks you with the cold hard truth. The other characters are very likable in their own ways, but the anime does not really explore them in as much depth just yet. However, I did like the feeling that each one brings to the screen whenever they appeared. It really helped flesh out the story and made the world feel lively and very relatable. The show's presentation is one of its strong points, and it blends music and visuals rather well together. Since the show takes place at night, one would expect dark, dank, and bland colors all around. But that's so far from what's delivered to us, it's criminal. Linden Films were very good at putting some of these colors into a world of darkness. There are a number of cool colors used that are accented by warmer tints. I love how they took the color gold and put it with a nighttime backdrop. This made scenes really pop while keeping an idea that everything is taking place at night. The only gripe I have with the show is that it feels very short. I miss the days where anime were like 20 odd something episodes long, because this show, it really leaves you hanging from a cliff. Like, that's one hell of a cliffhanger. I'm about to fall off here. Some of these episodes could have been combined into one to get more points across, because they do spend a lot of time on stuff that I really feel isn't as important. By the time you get to episode 6, that's when the other vampires are introduced, and I am so upset with that. We could have gotten the whole detective's arc done in this one instead of just leaving it hanging there. I really wanted to see her entire arc animated. Kinda sucks on that part. Very upset with that one. The music is by far one of the other good aspects of the show. Creepy Nuts really went in on this. A lot of their tracks are used in the more calmer parts of the show, the parts where the characters are just chill, and I feel like their music in the background, it brings the scene together. Creepy Nuts really knows what they're doing as far as it goes with the music. The choice of music was great from the intro to the ending, and in the show itself, it really captures the whole point of the show, which very surprising to me, that it's kind of like this show was made for this music, and that's rare. Very rare. Call of the Night gets a 4 out of 5. It's a fantastic show, and it's up there with some of the best anime to come out in 2022. The characters have a lot of depth to them, with some simple designs with a bit of flair. The story, while fairly simple itself, has some twists thrown in every now and then that really shake things up. And that's very good for a lot of romance stories like this, because most of them tend to be kind of straightforward. A few twists never hurt. Nighttime is visually pleasing with some great color choices to present the different themes of the night and the show itself. The music is just phenomenal. Creepy Nuts is a group with some great talent, and they heighten the viewing experience with every song they put in the show. While the series felt short, I left rather satisfied with the experience. I have to say, Kotoyama, you know what you're doing. Please keep it up. I enjoyed Dagashikashi as well, and I thoroughly enjoyed Call of the Night. Alright everybody, we're at that point in the video now. I want to thank you all for sticking through with it. Do you like vampires? Have you always been a fan of them? What's your take on Nazuna? Do you think she's actually waifu material? Let me know in the comments below. This is the Dandelion, signing off.